As the court pleases, my lord, I confirm my appearances as before in respect of accused number 5. As the court pleases.
Advocate Baloyi, there seems to be difficulty in the morning with some of the accused arriving. Is it anything we can correct, or is it something we just have to live with?
As the court pleases, my lord, I think most of the mornings they are on time. I think it was only on Monday or so. But it doesn't look like there's any problem at this stage, my lord. But we will attend to it. As the court pleases.
Yes.
My lord, before we call the next witness, yesterday there was a debate as to whether certain portions were on record. We adjourned and we scoured the record to check for those relevant portions. We couldn't immediately find them, and we then undertook to find those relevant portions in the record. However, the re-examination of Sergeant Musia proceeded according to what we informed the court then. We found the relevant portion. I'll just place it on record as I undertook yesterday. It's appearing on the proceedings of the 28th of April 2022. At page 60 of the record.
Let's get to the background. By the way, what was being contested is that.
Yeah, we are raising the issue with Sergeant Musia that Advocate Tifo put it to him that General Ndlovu intimidated him, and after consultation with the people who were in the house, told him to do certain things, and the defense then objected and said, but that was never said, and in particular they said there was no evidence regarding intimidation during the cross-examination, and we then quoted certain passages, but they then said there's nowhere where the word intimidation is mentioned, and that's when we undertook to find the relevant portions.
Yes. Have you shown it to your colleagues?
I've shown it to my colleagues, and I sent it to them this morning via email. And I'll just put the relevant portion once again. The issue that we raised with the witness was it was suggested during cross-examination of Advocate Tifo that after the meeting of the high-profile people and the high-ranking officers, Brigadier Ndlovu was instructed to manage you, that he intimidated you, and that the exhibits that you collected were staged. That's when they objected and said, but as far as they can recollect, there was no talk of intimidation.
And this has been located in the transcript pertaining to what day?
The 28th of April, 2022.
Come again?
28th April, 2022. At page 60. Is from lines 13 to 16. And the person who's speaking is Advocate Tefo, and he says, and we quote, "The action of Brigadier Ndlovu at the scene was to make sure that he's managing you and intimidating you as the senior." That is resulting from the meeting in that house before your arrival.
Line,
It's line 13,
line,
line 13, 1-3, to line 16, 1-6.
yes.
I don't know if it's necessary to, to hand it up. I'll make.
I think you remember this was made to be an issue on the record by your colleagues. And I think for the completeness of the record, we should have it on board.
Okay. I'll just hand it up. I'll make copies for my colleagues. As I mentioned, I've already sent it to them.
Mr. Towani, do you confirm that you...
Thank you, Your Lordship. I do confirm he showed us, and we concede that this what transpired, Your Lordship. I think we also have transcripts as well, because it comes from the transcripts. So we do have transcripts. There's no need for the state to make copies for us.
You have it?
We have the transcripts.
How did yesterday happen?
We looked for it. Me and the state, we could not find it. That's why we agreed
No,
that...
but I'm saying he remembered reading it. You didn't.
No. That's why hence we wanted to look for it on the transcripts. And there was no intention to waste the cost time, and we apologize for that. Hence today I even brought Mr. Ndlovu to help me taking notes as well. Thank you, Mr.
Advocate Mshololo?
No objection, my lord, to the submissions of the extracts and marked as exhibits.
No, I'm not talking about objection. I'm talking about acknowledging that the objection yesterday was misplaced because it is in black and white on a transcript which you had in your possession.
My lord, it is not true that it was misplaced. The objection, the basis of the objection was that counsel who made a reference should quote a page and a paragraph. That's what we wanted, and it was not done. He got an adjournment. He was granted an adjournment to go through the record.
I think you are playing with words because that amounted to an objection to the question. If that was the case, you would simply have said, after he answers, after Musia answers,
Yes.
may Mr. Baloyi in due course guide us to the page. But the way you rose on this, it blocked the question that, and as it is,
Yes.
Mr. Musia left this court without answering that question.
My lord,
That's the reality we are sitting
If my
in.
lord
I'm not trying to castigate you, but I'm saying, do you now admit that the blocking of that question was uncalled for?
it was uncalled. It was not uncalled, my lord. My apologies, because the state was even granted an opportunity to go through the record to check the page that we were looking for.
You are coming right where Mr. Towani came.
Yes.
Mr. Baloyi remembered reading it on the transcript. You
Yes.
didn't.
Yes.
That is the sense in which
Yes.
it became uncalled for. Because if you read it, ordinarily you should remember it, but you didn't remember it.
And when I
You
raised my objection, my lord, I said, unless if he can just give us the page and the line, then he can proceed after that.
You
That's
can
what I
proceed.
said, my
Yeah,
lord.
he didn't proceed. Mr. Musia has left. That's the issue I'm raising.
Yes, my lord.
And I also forget things I read. But I'm saying, in hindsight, I then realize this was there.
Yesterday, this is what we wanted. We wanted the reference to be made to the record, to say it's on page so and so, paragraph so and so that we can all go through the record and confirm it.
Yeah, maybe you forgot to say Musia should answer the question. He didn't answer it, he's gone. That's the issue I'm raising with you.
Yes, my lord, is gone. It's not the defense who did not have the page. It's the state who did not have the page for the reference.
No. You all got the transcript.
Yes, my lord.
You can't push it onto one person. You are an officer of the court. You had the transcript with you.
Yes.
What you were querying was in the transcript.
Yes.
And I'm saying humanly you forgot. And therefore that makes the objection yesterday, the blocking of the question, it makes it uncalled for. Because if you read it thoroughly and you were sure about it not being there, or at the least your mind was able to remember it was there, like Mr. Baloi's mind was able to remember it was there, we wouldn't have had the situation where Musia leaves the court without fielding that question.
My lord, I can't take these submissions any further because the court pleases, my lord.
Yeah, because it was uncalled for. You can't take it forward.
As the court pleases, my lord.
Ukunitshela-ke bafethu ukuthi kwenzekani bekunodaba-ke izolo la khona umshushisi kunento-ke ayibuze umfakazi obekhona uSergeant Musia ngokuthi-ke kukhona-ke okwashiwa u-advocate Tefu kuyena umsiya ngaphambilini ethi-ke wasatshiswa futhi-ke wayeholwa noma emanejwa uyena ongasekho uBrigadier Ndlovu ngalela langa kwindawo yesehlakalo base besukuma-ke abameli bobabili-ke bethi cha abavumelani nalokho becela-ke ukuthi umshushisi asho ukuthi kukuphi nendawo la kwirekhodi-ke noma kuma-transcripts abanawo akakwazanga-ke ukuthi abakhombise wathi uzohamba ayobheka uhambile-ke wayobheka ubuya-ke namhlanje sithi kutholakele ukuthi impela yilokho okwashiwo uyena u-advocate uTefo ku-page 60 ilanga kwakungeyi-28 zika April kulonyaka esikuwona ku-line 13 kuyofica-ke ku-line 16 amazwi akhe-ke ethi wena-ke wawumanejwa noma uholwa uyena uBrigadier Ndlovu futhi ekusabisa nanjengesenior yakho lokho-ke kusuka noma kuphuma-ke emuva kokuthi kwakunomhlangano phakathi endlini.
Advocate Baloi.
So court, please, my lord, we call the next witness is Sergeant Patrick Lungisi Mtetwa. He's witness number 34 on the list.
Patrick Mlungisi Mthetho.
Uzokhuluma isiZulu?
Yebo ngizokhuluma isiZulu.
Okay. Uzimisela ufunga, asiqale lapho uzimisela ufunga mfethu.
Yebo ngiyimisela.
I've got no objection taken of the side note. Sicela-ke ufunge-ke ukuthi ubufakazi ozonikeza ngabo kule nkantolo kuzoba ubufakazi obuphelele, lutho okunye ngaphandle kweqiniso. Iqiniso lodwa, phakamise isandla sakho sokudla uthi Nkosi ngisize ngikhuluma iqiniso.
Ngobufakazi engizone.
Nkosi ngisize ngikhuluma iqiniso.
Inkosi ngisiza ngikhuluma iqiniso.
Okay, the witness is sworn in.
Mr. Mthetho.
Sorry. Lalela-ke uJudge.
It is up to you whether you want to testify seated or standing. And if it comes to where you feel like a rest, do make us aware so that we can give you that opportunity.
Ukuwena-ke mfethu ukuthi uzofakaza umi ngeenyawo noma uhlezi phansi. Uma kufikela la khona-ke uzwa khona-ke ukuthi ukhathele, uyacelwa-ke ukuthi uyazise inkantolo, uzonikezwa-ke ithuba lokuthi uphumule. Sezwana?
Yebo.
Understood, my lord.
Your Lordship, I apologize to rise. I'll raise an objection to the testimonies that will be tendered by this witness as a matter of concern, and I will leave the decision in the hands of the court in attaching the weight thereof. This witness and his co-witness, before we had a 2 months adjournment, Your Lordship, sitting outside, watching proceedings, testimony of Mr. Musia, the first witness, on the phone. Therefore, I raise concern with regard to that testimony and the weight thereof as the court pleases.
Chazela-ke mfethu ukuthi uthini mmeli, uthi-ke unenkinga ngokuthi wena uzonikeza ubufakazi kunelanga la khona-ke akubona khona-ke la ngaphandle nanjengoba uSergeant Msiya wayinikeza ngobufakazi uhlezi nefoni ubuka ifoni ulaleleni futhi ubuka konke okwenzelakayo la ngaphakathi enkantolo ungaphendulike manje uyachaza nje ukuthi inkinga yakhe le ngokuthi ube uyafakaza kanti wawuhlezi ubuka ubufakazi buka Msiya.
Advocate Mchololo.
No objection, my lord.
Advocate Baloyi.
As the court please, my lord. Well, firstly, we are not aware of what Mr. Tobani is saying. I don't know what the basis of that submission is.
No, he did state it. He says,
Yes.
for the past 2 months, I don't know whether
Yes.
it is Mr. Tobani himself or somebody else who sat for 2 months with the witness,
Yes.
watching the proceedings over the phone. But he stated it. And I think that being the case, I would have expected that you have a position either now or that you can get a position from your witness about the allegation being made.
As a court, please, all I was saying was that we don't know whether Mr. Tobani saw the witness personally or there's a witness who witnessed that. That's what we meant by the basis. But I suppose it's something that can be taken up with the witness himself in cross-examination to test the credibility thereof. But
There you are, Mr. Tobani.
we submit that. I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Baloyi has a view that you will take that up with the witness.
As a court pleases.
You are a sergeant in the South African Police and attached to Vosloorus Police Station.
Usergeant emaphoyiseni yaseNingizimu Afrika futhi-ke usebenza ku-police station yase-Vosloorus.
Yebo.
So cela ukuthi uphakamise ukhulume mfethu ne?
Yebo.
That is correct.
How many years service do you have in the South African police?
Uneminyaka emingaki usebenza emaphoyiseni?
Iwu-13 manje.
13 years.
And what type of functions do you perform at Fort Lauderdale Police Station?
Lapha ke police station yase Fort Lauderdale uphi umsebenzi owenzayo?
To which section are you attached?
Noma ke ukuyiphi section?
Ngisebenza kwi-crime prevention.
I'm working for crime prevention.
Yes?
On the 26th of October 2014, were you on duty?
Ingabe nge-26 zika October 2014 osemsebenzini yini?
Yebo, ngisemsebenzini.
Yes, I was on duty.
What time did you report for duty?
Isiphi isikhathi owaqala ngaso emsebenzini ngaleli yalanga?
Ngangena u-6 wantambama.
6 in the evening.
Yes?
And what type of duties were you performing on the particular evening?
Ngaleli yalanga ke imuphi umsebenzi owawuwenza?
Ngangathenda ama-complaint angaphandle nawagola lapha e-CSC.
I was attending outside complaints as well as complaints within the CSC.
Is it correct that on the particular evening a certain incident occurred which led to you coming to court to testify today?
Ingabe kuyiqiniso yini ukuthi kukhona okwenzeka ke ngaleli yalanga okukholele ekuthini uze enkantolo namhlanje?
Yebo.
That's correct.
Yes. Can you tell the court in your own words what happened?
Awuchazela inkantolo ke ukuthi kwenzekani?
Sasibhizi sidetaina lapha sibopha umuntu lapha e-police station.
We were busy arresting and detaining someone there at the police station.
If you say we, you and who?
Kwakuwena nobani?
Mina insizwe engisebenza nayo.
It was myself and my colleague.
Yeah, who was your colleague?
U-Sergeant Matebula.
Sergeant Matebula.
Kwase kungena ke ilantingana lapha i-call lapha ye mangaphosisi kwakuyi-shooting in progress eKutlwanong.
And then a call came in, and if I'm not mistaken, it was reported as a shooting in progress in Kutlwanong.
Just a minute.
Yes?
How did the call come through firstly, and secondly, what time did the call come through?
Okokuqala ke i-call leyo ke yangena kanjani futhi ke ngasiphi isikhathi?
Yangena ku-radio control. Isikhathi angisenasishona.
Okay. Sorry. Firstly, it was through radio control, and with regards to the time, am I allowed to just refresh my memory? I just
It's just more
I'm
or
not
less,
sure about
what
the
time
time.
was it?
Mhlasimbe noma ungaqagela ke isikhathi ukuthi
Until 7, 8.
7, 8. The witness look at something. The witness wants to look at something, my lord.
As the court pleases, you indicated that you want to refresh your memory from your statement. Did you?
Before that, Mr. Tabane, the witness indicates a need to refresh his memory.
Lordship, procedurally, I'll object to the witness having papers in front of him, reading from the papers before the state lay the basis of his statement.
Before the state lays the basis of which
Produce this
statement?
statement to him and lay basis on it, and then state can take it from there, Your Lordship.
Yes, that's what we're just on the point of doing, my lord.
Okay.
Yes. Sergeant Tetwa, did you make a statement in this matter?
mayelana nalolu daba lolu ke noma lalo qala leli une statement owasenza?
Yeah, usikhona ngasenza.
Yes, I made a statement.
Yes?
Was the statement reduced to writing?
Ingabe sabhalwa phansi?
Yebo sabhalwa phansi.
Yes, it was.
Yes?
Was there use made of an interpreter when you made a statement?
Ingabe mhlasimbe ukhona utolika owasetshenziswa nkathi kwenziwa leso statement leso?
Cha lutho sasenziwa yimi.
No, I made it myself.
Did you make it in your own handwriting?
Wasibhala wena ke ngokwakho. That's correct.
Yes?
And did you sign did you understand the statement? Did you go through it before signing it?
Ingabe ngaphambilini kokuthi usayindike, usayinde wasifunda yini ukuqiniseka ukuthi uyasizwa noma uyakulandela lokhu okubhaliwe phansi?
Yeah, ngasifunda.
Yes, I read it.
And were you satisfied with the contents thereof?
Weneliseka ke yilokho okubhaliwe phansi?
Yeah.
That's correct.
And did you sign it?
Was you signed?
Yebo.
That's correct.
Yes?
And was the statement commissioned?
Ingabe sa commissioner yini?
Yebo zakuba.
That's correct.
I just want to show you a document. Is that your statement?
Isona lesi?
Yebo zona.
Yes, it is.
What is the date of the statement?
Oh,
No,
2014.
no, the date on which the statement was made.
I-date le esenziwa ngayo i-statement lesi.
Kwakuyi 26.
20 isho konke i-date 26.
Enyangeni yesi-10 ngo 2014.
26 October 2014.
Yes, is there time reflected therein?
Isikhathi sibhaliwe khona lapho?
Sibhaliwe.
Yes, it is.
Yes, what time was it?
Awuchazeke.
Esa-authwa ngaso isikhathi
Which time exactly when it was commissioned? Or?
Yes.
Yep,
u-10.
it was 10 on
10 wasebusuku.
10 in the evening.
And do you want to refresh your memory from the statement
Angithi ke uthe
regarding the time when the call came through?
ufuna ke noma ufisa ukuyikhumbuza ukuthi i-call yafika ngabani isikhathi noma nayithola ngabani isikhathi angithi?
Yebo.
That's correct.
My Lord, we submit that sufficient basis has been laid for the statement and that the witness can therefore be allowed to refresh his memory from the statement. I don't know if there's any.
Mr. Tobani?
Your Lordship, I don't have an objection. However, he still have another paper. I think that paper must be removed because it's not part of the case. We don't have an objection with that to his statement. The state laid proper basis.
Please. Can you then refresh your memory from your statement? What time did the call come through? Come through? I'm sorry.
Awubheke ukuthi i-call nayithola ngabani isikhathi?
Call sayithola ngo 5 to 9.
It was at 5 to 9 when we received the call.
Yes, but your statement, as a please, can I just? Your statement mentions 20:53.
Oh, it's 7 minutes to 9. I mean, 7 minutes to 9.
7 minutes to 9.
Yes, which means wakusela imzuzu ewu7 ukuthi kushaye u9.
It was 7 minutes before 9.
Yes.
Yes, you may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka ke?
Sase ke cha siphuthuma ke siyakhona ke lapho ke kuhlwanong emzamo.
Nomzamo. We then rushed to Kutwanong Mzamo, no Mzamo.
Mzamo section.
Or Mzamo section.
Just a minute.
Again, you are putting yourself in the plural. With whom did you go?
Uthi wawuhamba nobanike?
Ngahamba no Sergeant Matebula.
It was with Sergeant Matebula.
Yes.
When the call came through, was the address given or the only information that you had was that it's Kutranong section in Kutranong in Mzamo section, Kutranong street in Mzamo section?
Nkathi ke nithola i-call lena ke nalinikezwa ikheli lala nonjengoba uthe shooting in progress yenzeka khona nanikwa i-address yakhona.
Ayisanikwa yonke address yakhona ne-house number yakhona.
We were given the address as well as the house number.
Yes, just give the full details.
Sicela ke usinikeze imininingwane egcwele.
Angisayazi i-house number yabo yayithini.
I can't remember the house number.
Yes.
Yes, once again, do you want to refresh the address from your statement?
Objection, my lord. My lord, we can't be refreshing. If the witness needs to be prepared, my lord, can we just adjourn this court, allow the state to consult with this witness, read the statement to the witness before he comes and testifies?
I overrule that objection.
Yes.
I don't think we should go wasting more time. The basis was laid for what he is using, and I think he's allowed to refresh himself from time to time.
Yes, and
Especially because you will end up cross-examining him on what he's saying.
and we've already gone through the exercise that my learned friend is suggesting.
Your Lordship, I suggest the state leave the witness with the statement. The state should have made a copy for the witness as well. So that you must not keep on saying refresh, refresh. At least if this witness is having the statement with him.
As the court pleases, if there's no objection, my lord, yes, you may continue. What is the address?
Sicela ke ubheke ke ikheli lapho.
Ikheli lakhona lithi 13511 Kutlanong Street, Mzamo section.
It's 13511 Kutlanong Street, Mzamo section. 511, my lord. Kutlanong Street, Mzamo section.
Yes?
Yes, how did you travel to that address?
Naya kanjani ke kuleyo address leyo?
Sasihamba ngemoto yasemsebenzini.
We were traveling in a official vehicle.
If you say it was an official vehicle, what do you mean?
Uma uthi ke imoto yasemsebenzini usho ukuthini?
Imoto yestate le makiwe yesiphoyisa.
It was a marked police vehicle belonging to the state.
Yes?
Yes, you may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka ke.
Akukho kude kakhulu ngoba mawusuka epolice station. Sathi masifika lapha safica ke ubona umuntu wakuthiwa uThemba wathi umalume wakhona lapha.
It's not far from the police station, and upon arrival there, we found a person by the name of Themba, who introduced himself as an uncle there.
Just a minute.
Yes?
What
time did you arrive at the address?
Ukufika khona lapho emzini lowo ke nafika sikhatsini.
Mangingaphosisi cishe ukusuka epolice station uyakhona sathatha mhlambe noma u8 minutes kuya ku10.
If I'm not mistaken, from the police station to get to the house, we took between 8 and 10 minutes.
You mentioned that it's not far from the police station. How far is it from the police station?
Ushilo ke ukuthi akude ukusuka epolice station ku lithini ke ibanga.
mhlambe ngathi u5 kilometer kuya 6 or 7
5, 6 to 7 kilometers,
but angeke undlule u7 kilometer.
but it won't be more than 7 kilometers.
Yes?
Yes, what happened? Yes, we found a person who introduced himself as Temba.
Nahlangana-ke noThemba kwasekwenzekani?
Ngaze siyambuza ukuthi kwenze njani naye wayengenalo ulwazi olutheni ngoba wathi ufonelwe naye wathi akazobheka la endlini.
We then inquired, wanted to know from Themba as to what happened. He also did not have much information because he had said, or he alleged, or he said that he was also called to come and have a look in the house.
Yes?
Did he say what relationship he has with the occupants of the house?
Ingabe washo yini ukuthi unabudlelwane buni kanye nabanikazi noma abantu bendlu?
Owathi umama walapha yana udadewabo uMakhumalo udadewabo.
He said that the owner, that is now the mother of the house, Makhumalo, is his sister.
Yes?
Yes, you may proceed. Were you familiar with the occupants of that address?
Ingabe abantu owawubazi yini abantu baloya muzi?
Ayingangabazi mina lutho.
No, I wasn't.
Yes. Yes, you may proceed.
Maqhubeka.
Yes?
Wabe sathi ke ngathi kuthiwa kudutshuliwe lapha kodwa umuntu basamphuthumise esibhedlela lo dubulekile.
He also informed us that it is being alleged that someone had been shot, but that the person who had been shot has been rushed to hospital.
Just a minute.
Yes?
My Lord, the state will be calling Mr. Temba Khumalo at the later stage. May that hearsay evidence be provisionally allowed.
Yes?
Yes, you may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka.
Ngoba wayengenalo ulwazi olutheni ukuthi kwenzakalani endlini nanokuthi nje asinike into esingakhona ukuthi mhlambe sisebenze ngayo. Sabe sithi ngcono kwesiye esibhedlela siyobona ke lapho ngoba bathi basebuthilongo.
Okay. Because he couldn't give us much, he couldn't give us any information as to what had happened in the house, we then decided to go to the hospital, Butsilong Hospital.
Yes?
Yes.
Yebo?
Njalo siya driver ke sabuyela khona esibhedlela ke. Sithe masingena nje esibhedlela. Sahlangana nemoto BM.
We then proceeded to the hospital, and upon arrival at the hospital, we came across this vehicle, BMW, multi-BM.
Ngisho njalo
Okay,
impela.
BMW.
Yes.
Yes?
Now, before we get to the events at Butsilong Hospital, there on the premises, what did you do?
Angaphambilini kokuthi siyofika ke esibhedlela khona lapho ke endlini naye nenzani.
Before sifike esibhedlela sake sangena nje ejardini la khona sabheka akukho ngoba sasiphuthuma vele ukuthi ingqondo yethu sisesibhedlela sathi akakhiyeke lapha endlini abambe isikhiyo siyoza ukuthi kwenzakalani le.
We then, before we went to hospital, we went into the premises and just to check around there. But because we were in this hurry or rush to get to hospital, we then told him to lock the house and keep the key so that we can go and have a look at the hospital.
Did you go into the house?
Ngabe nangena ngaphakathi endlini yini?
Ay endlini noma sangena kodwa nje kwakungekho ukuthi siyangena khona sikubheka kwakungena nje ukubheka sabuye savala wakhiya.
Inside the house, even if we went in, but it was not like we literally went in and looked for something. We just went in and came back and asked him to lock the house.
Yes, just tell the court step by step. So you went into the house.
Sicela ke uchazele inkantolo ngokulandelana ukusho ukuthi nangena phakathi endlini.
Yes, sawuvula umnyango sangena endlini.
Yes, we opened the door and we went inside the house.
Was the door or was the house locked or what was the position or was it not locked?
Before they entered.
Yes.
Ngaphambilini kokuthi ningeneke ingabe isimo sasendlini sasithini kwakuvaliwe noma kwangavalwanga.
Wayekhile umalume uyena wayephethe isikhiwo wasivulela sangena.
Okay. The uncle had locked because he was the one who was in possession of the key, so he opened for us and we went in.
Yes.
And which door did you use to gain access to the house?
Nasebenzisa umphiko umnyango ukuthi ningene endlini.
Wase kitchen.
The kitchen door.
Ngithi ikhishi impela lokho okuncane lokho. Kwakule ikhishi.
Yes.
Yes, and just tell the court step by step what happened after you went into the house via the kitchen door.
Awusitsheleke ngokulandelana ukuthi uvulile umnyango nangena ke kitchen kwasekuthini ke emuva ukuthi ningenile.
Ngoba ngisho ukuthi ayikho into ayisichazela yona umalume ayazi. Kwakungena nje nasendlini. Sibona ukuthi mhlambe khona singakubona futhi ayikho into esayibheka sangena nje saphuma sathi ke akakhi umnyango wakhiya vele.
Because there was no information that was forthcoming from the uncle. We just went into the house and just to see whether we'll be able to see anything, and we just went out again and asked him to lock the door.
Did you notice anything when you went into the house?
Ukhona enaqaphela yini inkathi ningena ngaphakathi endlini?
Hey, nazo nokubheka kwami nje masingena endlini mangikhumbula kahle. Kwakungakubheka ukuthi phela khona okwenzakele lapha ngoba naye akazi noma kwenzakele phakathi noma ngaphandle wayengakhuluma into esile. Into engayibona mhlamba amakani amabili. Amakani elantingana ini otshwala mangaphosisi.
Because there was nothing that because he didn't know, so he didn't know as to whether the incident occurred inside the house or outside the house, and from what we could see inside the house, one couldn't tell whether something had happened there. If I'm not mistaken, I think I just only saw 2 bottles of liquor there, if I'm not making a mistake.
Yes.
Which
Correction, I have a benefit of the language. I'm not trying to teach my colleague his job, my lord. The witness said amakani, cans.
No, you've got it wrong. You've got it wrong. Can can't be a can. You've got it wrong. I'll copy in the class and fit.
Hoy amakani iqinisile lensizwa amakani amakheni.
Amakan?
Yes, it's a can. Then Berkeley, I'm a bottle.
My lord, okay. I also have it because Amakan can also be, because the Amakan can also be containers, other containers, which is the bottle that the handle that has the handles.
Yeah.
So,
we admit that it's languages at play.
Yes.
And there are double meanings, multi-meanings, and so forth. So it shouldn't be a problem. I think you stand corrected by Mr. Tovan. Okay.
which parts of the house did you go to?
Ningene kuphi nendawo endlini?
Leyandlu ngathi kuxhumene ikitchen angikwazi noma kuxhumene noma kuhlukaniswe ileli ikhabethele ngakho kodwa uma ungena ekitchen kunokunye nganoma sitting room noma kuthiwa yini okunye ngapha esayidini.
My lord, that house, it seems as if it's just everything is just here at once. But I think there is just this cupboard, which I don't know whether it is the cupboard that separates the kitchen, and then you walk to the other side, it looks like it's the sitting room.
I have a feeling that what he's describing is what is referred to as an open plan. Unless any of the three of you object.
Yes.
Mr. Baloyi?
In any case, it's already, the sketch is already before court.
It seems to be disagreeing, my lord. Okay, he wants to explain more.
La ngithi lezi zindlu zesilungu manje ikhishi usuke usubuke nalapha e-dining room. So nako mawungena ekitchen uthi ususe dining room la khona la. Angazi noma ngiyichaza kahle. It's a kitchen.
We are on the same track. Okay, let's proceed.
Yes, yes, you say you entered through the kitchen and then you were still demonstrating?
Okay, the again.
Masingena ekitchen sase sijikela ngapha
Right.
yes kuna dining room. Kodwa nakhona ahlala ngoba ukungena nje ukuthi sase siyaphuma siyahamba.
We went through the kitchen and then we turned to this side. It looks like it was a dining room. But even there, we didn't stay long and then we went out of the house again and left.
The cans that you referred to that you saw, where did you see them?
Amakani la ngithi wawabonaphi?
Ngale dining room.
On the other side in the dining room.
Yes, can you proceed?
Ungaqhubeka mfethu.
Wayeseyakhiya ke sase siphuthuma ke esibhedlela kubantu abanolwazi ukuthi kwenzakaleni.
He then locked. We then rushed to the hospital to the people with knowledge as to what happened.
Just a minute.
Yes.
But before going to the hospital, did you go to any other place? What happened when you left the premises?
Ngaphambilini kokuthi niyofika ke esibhedlela ikhona engenye indawo enaya kuyona. Noma naya naphuma endlini naya nje esibhedlela.
Oh okay ngaphambi sesiphuma endlini kwasekugcwele nomakhelwane lapha ngoba bathi azi abantu babaleke baphuma ngapha ngase park.
Okay, bambe lapha bambe. When we went out of the house, now outside there was already a lot of people, the neighbors, and they were alleging that the people ran towards the park.
Which people?
Bathi abantu babaleke baya ngase park baphi abantu?
Should ngendlela babechaza ngayo bathi kunabantu abawu2 abababone bebaleka beshona ngapha ngase park.
The manner in which they were describing it, my lord, they were saying that they saw 2 people that were running and those people ran towards the park.
Yes.
My lord, the state will be calling some of those neighbors to testify in this regard.
Yes.
Yes, you may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka mfethu.
Ngoba vele kwakukhona nendlela eyayiphuma ngakhona ngase park ke sase siphuma ngakhona epark sithi uqalaza mhlambe khona esingakubona sase siqhubeka sibheka esibhedlela oba sibona ngalutho.
Because there was a way towards the park, my lord, so we took that direction just to see whether we'll be able to see anything, and from there we then proceeded to the hospital.
And you saw nothing at the park?
Anizange ngibone lutho epark.
Ngalutho sibona ngalutho.
We saw nothing.
Yes.
This park, how far is it from this address that you mentioned?
Ipark lena ke ikude kangakanani kusuka kulomuzi lo enani kuwona?
Iseduze kakhulu.
Very close.
Iseduze kakhulu maqatha mbalo ngifike khona.
It's very close, just a few steps and then you're there.
And on which side of the house is the park?
Ipark lena ke ikoluphi uhlangothi?
On which side of this address, I'm sorry?
Noma ikoluphi uhlangothi kule ndlu le enani kuyona?
Ikala kanjani? Uthi uma undlule endlini phela ungathi uyaphambili ingapho.
It's just when you pass the house and just you go, you just pass in front of the house and then you go towards the park.
If you are able, you will tell us. If not, you will just say it, and there's nothing wrong. Is it on the east, on the west, on the south, or on the northern side of the house?
Uma ungakwazi ukusho ungasho nje ukuthi isentshonalanga, isempumalanga, iseningizimu noma isenyakatho. Uma ungakwazi ukusho ungasho nje ukuthi cha awungeke kusho.
Angikho muhla lezi zinto zo south no east. Ngangcono ukuthi ngikhuluma ngento engiyibona bese ngiyakhomba ukuthi kungapha.
When it comes to the direction southeast, I'm not good, but I'll be able, when I see something, and then I'll be able to point the direction when I see it.
But, I'm sorry, my lord. But when you're standing at the gate of that house, do you go to your left or to your right?
Left.
Yes, you proceeded to Butsilong Hospital. You mentioned that you came across a vehicle. You can continue.
Uthi-ke nasenifika-ke nahlangana nemoto-ke lapho ungaqhubeka-ke sisesibhedlela-ke manje.
Sisesibhedlela egate sahlangana nemoto ke uBM sahlangana nayo sama wavula ifastela umuntu wayephakathi
Bambe lapho-ke. We are now at the hospital. We then came across this BMW. We stopped, and then the person that was inside the vehicle then opened the window.
If you say the person who was inside the vehicle, are you referring to a passenger or a driver?
Umuphi-ke kulaba ababephakathi, umshayeli wemoto noma kwakuyipassenger lovula ifastela?
Ifastela lavuleka ngakupassenger ngoba bebabili bona.
There were two of them. I think the window was opened on the passenger side.
Yes.
Yes, you may proceed.
Wayesekhuluma usisi wayehleli phakathi ukuthi size esibhedlela ngisathina yebo size ngaphakathi esibhedlela.
And then a lady that was inside there then spoke to us and asked us if we were coming to hospital, and then we confirmed that yes, we were coming to the hospital.
Just a minute.
Yes.
And just before we proceed, how were you clad? Were you clad in civilian clothes or were you clad in uniform?
Ingabe ke nanigqokele impahla nje zenu noma nanigqoke impahla lasemsebenzini?
Sasifaka impahla emsebenzini.
Uniform.
Yes.
Yes, you may proceed.
Yebo sasimtshela ukuthi size khona siqale kodwa emzamo sasesiza la ngoba asitholi wathi hayi uSenzo Meyiwa bamdubulile ulanga phakathi useshonini.
We then indeed confirmed that we were coming to hospital, but we had first gone to Mzamo, but then we couldn't find, then we came now to hospital. The lady then said to us, yes, Senzo Meyiwa has been shot and is inside the hospital.
It's fine. The lady made a report to you. What happened?
Emuva kokuthi nichazele lokho ke naye nenzani noma nenzani emuva kokuthi nichazele lokho.
Sase siyangena ngoba wathi bakhona phakathi esizobathola sase siyangena phakathi esibhedlela. Wahamba yena.
Because she told us that there were people that were inside the hospital, we then went in and she left.
Yes.
Sase siyangena ngaphakathi ekwakugcwele sathola umunye umama wathi uMakhumalo.
We went inside and it was full inside, and we came across this lady who introduced herself as Makhumalo.
Yes.
Ngaphambi kokuba sithole uMakhumalo saya kudokotela saya lapha ekonesi. Lasilayela ke nesi ukuthi hayi umuntu esimfunayo ukhona lapha lasikhombisa ngazi noma kwaku ungcekethe nini esilakhona lase lasihamba ke lesikhombisa ke.
Before we came across Makhumalo, we spoke to a nurse I think it's Ngekete, if I'm not mistaken. And she then wanikhombisa noma wanisa khona lapho.
Wasihambisa wasisa
And
khona.
then she led us to where the person was.
Yes, you may continue.
Ungaqhubeka.
Wasibonisa ke yena isambona vele ukuthi ayudubulekile sendlulile nasemhlabeni.
She pointed the person, or the nurse pointed the person out to us. We saw the person, that the person had been shot and that the person had already passed away.
Just a minute.
Yes.
Where did the nurse lead you to?
Ingabe ke unesi njengoba uthi wanihambisa wanisa kuphi?
Ukhona kule igumbinyana asingenisa kulo ngoba angazi noma igumbi labantu abadlulile noma kanjani kodwa khona igumbi asifaka kulo nje.
There is this room that she took us to. I don't know whether it's a room where deceased people are kept, but she took us into a room.
Yes.
Wasamtholelele nje embedeni umbhedo noma yini kodwa embedeni nje
We
bheke phezulu.
found the person lying there on a bed.
Yes. Could you recognize that person?
Ingaba ke wathi uma ngabe umbona lo muntu wabona ukuthi ngabe wabona umuntu omaziyo yini?
Noma ngingathi ngiyamazi ngowamehle enyama kodwa ngihlele ngimbona kuma TV ngambona lapho ukuthi
Although I wouldn't say that it is someone, I don't know the person in flesh, but it's someone that I used to see. That's where I saw that I used to see this person on TV.
Yes, could you recognize the person?
yes.
Wamazini lo muntu? Recognize as in?
Yes, could you recognize the person?
Umbonile lo muntu ne? Ngaba ukumboneni kwakho yini wamazi?
You say you used to see him on TV. Could you recognize him? Do you know who that person is?
Wamazi yini ekumboneni kwakho? Angithi uthi umuntu ovamise ukuthi umbone kwi TV. Manje kusuyambona ke nangu lele embedeni. Ingabe ubona umuntu omaziyo noma ubona umuntu ongamazi?
Angangibona umuntu engimaziyo ku TV.
I saw someone that I know from TV.
Yes, as whom?
Ubani?
Senzo Meyiwa.
Senzo Meyiwa.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh sase
Did you observe this person that you recognize as Mr. Senzo Meyiwa?
Ingabe ke lo muntu nanjengoba uthi ke wambona ukuthi ubona uSenzo Meyiwa ovamise umbona ku TV. Ingabe ke uye waye wambheka yini? Was that a question?
Yes.
Waye wambheka yini?
yebo ngambheka.
Yes, I did.
Yes, and what did you notice?
Wabonani noma wabonani?
Ngabona ukuthi wayene ngicabanga kwakune bullet hole.
Sicela usukume uzokwazi uJaja kubona le ndawo ukhomba kuyona.
Angazi noma ngikhomba kahle kodwa nje wayene Samuel.
I don't know whether I'm pointing precisely, my lord, but I think it was a bullet hole somewhere here.
But was full lapha.
Yes.
Yes, you may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka.
Sase ke sifonela ke abanye sasebenzisana nabo ukuthi ke abazosigadela lapha esibhedlela ke thina sibuyelele sithole noyedwa womndeni ke sohamba naye asichazele yonke into.
We then contacted our colleagues, my lord, to come and have a look or guard on our behalf at the hospital so that we could go back to the house and also get one member of the family to go with us.
Yes.
Yes, you may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka.
Sase sayithola ke amacolleague esisebenza nawo afika sase sithola ke umama lo owathi umakhumalo wathi hayi akanankinga uzohamba nathi ayele.
We then managed to get hold of our colleagues, my lord, and we also got Makumalo. She said she wouldn't have a problem to go with us to the house.
Yes?
Yes, you may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka.
Sabuyela ke naye umama ke eyosichazela ukuthi kwenze njani endlini. Masifika ke endlini cha wasichazela ke.
Yes.
We then went back to the house with the lady, and when we got to the house, she informed us as to what happened.
Just a minute. Was it at the very same address at which you were before going to the Tsilong Hospital?
Kwakuyilela kheli elilodwa enani kulona ngaphambilini kokuthi niye esibhedlela.
Yebo sasibuyela kulo.
Yes, we went back there.
Let us see, it's almost time for the short adjournment. Can we then take the short adjournment at this stage?
Yini eyenzeka uma senifika endlini emuva kokuthi nichazele ukuthi kwenzekeni?
Uma sifika endlini shothi sathola umalume futhi wasivulela ke endlini.
When we got to the house, then we received the very same gentleman that we had left there, or that we found there, the uncle, and he opened the house for us again.
Just a minute.
Yes?
Yes, you may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka.
Wayesesitshela ukuthi babehleli nje kumnandi.
Yes, please just tell the court about what you saw and not what other people told.
Ucelwa ke ukuthi nje uchaze owakubona wena ne, ukuyekeke owakutshelwa.
Okay. The uncle opened the house, you went into the house, and
Uthi
then
ke
what happened?
wavula umalume nase ningena.
Kushuthi masingena endlini esesichazelile istory ukuthi kushuthi kwenza ke endlini lokho kwenzakela.
Yeah.
Into yokuqala siyaye siyibheke nathi masifika esini siyasibheke ama cartridge into kanjalo.
Okay, bambe lapho. Okay. After she told us what had happened, we went inside, and then when we get to a scene, the first thing that we would do is to look for cartridges, things like that.
Yes. Where in the house did you go? Did you go into? Which part of the house did you go?
Liphi ke igumbi noma naya kuphi la nangena endlini naya kuphi?
Angena awufuthi lo mnyango wase kitchen.
We used the very same kitchen door.
Yes.
Yebo.
Ngoba sasesithole information ukuthi kwenzakaleni washo ukuthi hayi kudubuliwe ngena insizwe embili la. Then sazama ke nathi ukubheka ukuthi nala isesichaze ukuthi kudutshulwe kwenzakala ngakuphi.
Okay, bambe lapho. Because by now we had already been given information that guys.
Please, Sergeant, please don't tell the court about what other people told you. Just tell what you observed on the scene.
Ucela nje ukuthi uchaze lokho wakubona wena ke ukiyeke lokho abakutshela ukuthi kwenzekani kwangena bani uchaza nje lokho wena owakubona.
Makumalo explained to us what happened and what did you observe on the scene.
Emuva kokuthi nichazele kumakhumalo ukuthi kwenzekani wena uma ngabe sokuyibonela ke yini wayibonela yona.
Okay, sesichecka kahle sabe sesithola ngazi noma bathi bullet projectile lokwaphambili.
Okay. We then checked. I don't know whether they refer to it as the bullet projectile, that is the front part.
Yes?
Where did you find it?
Naithola kuphi?
Yayiphansi.
It was on the, we found it on the floor.
Where in the house?
Kuphi nendawo?
Kitchen.
In the kitchen?
Yes.
Ungaqhubeka ke?
Yes, we continue.
Thola nesigqoko.
We also found a hat.
Where?
Kuphi nendawo?
Kitchen.
In the kitchen?
Yes.
Yes. Continue.
Ungaqhubeka?
Crashes wathi elika khona umfana owayefaka ukhonkolo wathi lakhe leli crashes so aselithathelanga ngoba sabona ukuthi la manye ama victims so nalo lali khona kodwa
Compliment to the cement la emlenzeni. Okay. With regard to the crashes. Oh, sorry. Uthi wathi kusho bani?
kusho lo mama.
Okay. With regard to the crashes, she alleged or she said that it belonged to one of the guys. There was a guy who had sort of plastered was leg with cement. So we then didn't take the crashes because we were then under the impression that it belonged to one of the victims.
Just tell us about what you observed on the scene. Did you see the crutches?
Wawabona wena ma crash.
Asaliboni crashes.
Yes, we did.
Where?
Kuphi nendawo?
Lalise kitchen.
In the kitchen?
Yes, we may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka.
What else did you observe?
Yini nokunye owakubona?
Nawo ke lawa makani ayevele khona angazi ayimangaka ngoba eyi2 mangaphosisi kodwa nje ayekhona nawo.
As well as the cans that were there. I'm not certain whether there were 2 of them, but they were there.
What, 2 of what?
Cans, mother.
Okay.
Where in the house did you see them?
Aye kuphi nendawo lapha endlini?
Aye ngale dining room.
On the dining room side.
Yes, what else did you observe?
Okunye onakubona noma owakubona?
Sathi mase sesibheka kahle sesikhuluma ngalento esiyitholile ngoba icartridge ngoba lalipicikile. Sabe sesithola ukuthi kwakucabanga kwethu sesibona nomnyango uhlephukile lapha sayitshena mhlawumbe lishaye khona lapha ngasemnyango labuye lawela phansi. So asasingenayo isho yalo kodwa nomnyango wawunokulimala lapha phezulu.
We looked at this cartridge and saw its condition, it appeared that it was damaged or it had been used. And then we also looked at the door, was looking and saw that the door was damaged. So it was just an assumption on our part, looking at the door as well as the condition of the cartridge, that it had hit the door. But we were not certain about that.
Yes.
This door that you're referring to, which door was it?
Stop ukukhuluma ngaso ke isiphi?
Is that the kitchen?
The door
kitchen,
that
no.
was damaged.
The kitchen.
Yes, may I proceed?
Ungaqhubeka.
Sase siyafonela ke CSC ukuthi basiorganizele ke like ama detective ne photographer nje konke kumele organize uma kuyisini.
We then contacted CSC to get detectives, photographers, and all the relevant people that should attend to a scene.
Yes, can you explain to the court what is CSC?
Awuchazeleke iCSC ukuthi yini?
Oh, CSC kule police station lapho certify khona kuthiwa CSC.
At the police station where they do the certification, it's being referred to as the CSC.
What does it stand for?
Umeleni ke u-CSC?
It's a client service center, yeah.
Client Service Center.
Yes, what happened further?
Kwenzekani ke?
Sathola warrant officer maphafu wasi-organizela onesini masifika kufika kwethu ke safaka i-tape esinini siyikhondola siyivala wasi-organizela kwafika uCaptain Zwane
Okay. So uthi warrant officer bani?
usathola uwarrant officer maphafu
Maphafu.
yes wathi uzos-organizela.
Before that, upon arrival at the scene, we cordoned the scene off, and then at the CSC, we got hold of Warrant Officer Mapafu, and then he said he will organize for us. Kwase kufika Captain Zwane,
Yebo kwafika uCaptain Zwane wama-detective.
and then Captain Zwane from the detectives arrived.
At which stage did you cordon off the scene?
Ukhona lokho ke noma ukuvala ke lapha navala ngeyiphi inkathi noma ngesiphi isikhathi.
Ngikhohle nje ukufaka lokho mangithi mase sifika vele bese sine information ngoba sesihamba nalo mama so sathi masifika vele sadilika ne-tape savala i-scene sase singena ke ngaphakathi.
Okay. I just forgot to mention that because by now we had already received this information from the lady of the house, so when we alighted from the vehicles, we had the tapes, or we had the tape with us, and then we cordoned off and went inside the house.
Yes.
Yeah, but just clarify, was it with your first visit to the house or the second visit when you came back with Makumalo?
Ingabe ile yankathi yokuqala noma lesikhathi manje senibuya noMakhumalo lesikhathi nivala yonke. Ilesi sikhathi sesibili nibuya noMakhumalo.
Ilesikhathi sesibili sesibuya noMakhumalo.
It was on the second occasion when we were coming back with Makhumalo.
Yes.
Yes. What happened further?
Kwathini ke emuva kwalokho?
Makufika uCaptain Zwane ke naye samchazela ukuthi kwenzakalani sambonisa konke nathi sikubonile ke.
Upon Captain Zwane's arrival, we informed him as to what happened, and we also showed him what we had seen.
Yes.
Yes, and what was the role of Captain Zwane? In what capacity did he attend the scene?
Manje yena ke kwakuyini ke yakhe role Captain Zwane noma yena ke ufike ngathi ezokwenzani ke?
Uphethe ama-detective waye under ama-detective lapha police station.
He is the head of the detectives at the police station.
Ayiyonke kodwa yena phethe lapha ama-detective.
Oh, but he is in charge when it comes to the detectives.
Yes.
Yes, you may proceed.
Ngaqhubeka ke.
Naye ke sambonisa ke sesikutholile naye wayi-interviewela ko umama ke thina sibhizi sibhala ke lapho salinde no photographer.
We also showed him what we found, and he also interviewed the lady, and we were busy writing and also waiting for the photographer.
Yes.
Just a minute. What did you show Captain Zwane?
Yini enamkhombisa yona uCaptain Zwane?
Isiqoko nalantingana ne cartridge ne bullet projectile.
It was the head as well as the bullet projectile.
Is it all?
Yilokho phela.
Ne crashes nayo sambonisa kodwa lali ngekho ke emqondweni wazokushiya ukuthi lama-victim lentingane lo muntu obekhona lapha naye hlukumezeka
Crash amabili noma ngecrash elilodwa?
elilodwa.
Okay, as well as the crash, but it was not in our mind because we had already been informed that it belongs to one of the victims. earlier on, my lord, I referred to crashes, but the witness confirms it. It's one crash.
Yes?
And can you just explain to the court this exhibit, how were they in relation to one another?
When they were found? Or?
Yes, where they were found.
Okay. La na lobufakazi ke batholakala khona ke sikhuluma ngebullet project trial sikhuluma ngesiqhoko. Ingaba ke ayiseduze enye kwenye noma indlela nje atholakala ngayo enye obunye ubufakazi kobunye aye kanjani?
Kwangeke ukuthi kuqhelelene kakhulu. Okay, isiqhoko sasise dining room. Kwaqhamuka umama kaKheli wathi isiqhoko nase esabo laba bantu.
Okay, all right. It was not a matter of much of a distance between the items or the exhibits. And with regards to the head, Kelly's mother appeared with the head and said, here's the head, it belongs to these people, or it belongs to the people.
Which people?
Abantu. The one who came there, my lord, and did what, or committed the incident there.
Can you just verify if Kelly's mother will be called? Regarding to what the witnesses just said, my lord.
As the court pleases, Surgeon, as we explained at the beginning, just testify about what you saw.
So I will have to expunge that.
As the court pleases.
All right, okay.
Uyacela ke ngoba kuye kwavezwa ukuthi bafuna ukwazika nanje ngoba uma nikhuluma ngomakakheli ukuthi uzobiza nanje ngofakazi yini, so uthi uyacela kumshushisi ukuthi nje cela kuloko wena ke owayibonela wena.
Yes.
Noma okwaziyo.
So just explain what you saw regarding the head without reference to what anyone told you.
Yisho nje wena owakubona noma okwaziyo ke mayelana nesigqoko ungakusho owakutshelwa umuntu mayelana nesigqoko leso.
Ngiyafuna ukuphendula. Okay, yeah, isigqoko sasibona.
Yes, we saw the head.
Yes. Where?
Kuphi nendawo?
The kitchen.
In the kitchen.
But was it already on the floor? Did someone have it? What was it?
Nisibona sisaleli phansi noma siphethwe umuntu.
Hey ngakho bengithi ngiyafuna ukuphendula ngoba inkulu indaba ilele lapho mangikuphendula.
Hence I said that I so wish to answer you, but that's where the problem lies when I'm answering you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, just explain without reference to who said what. Just explain what you saw.
Chaza nje owakubona ne ungasho ke ukuthi ubani wathini mayelana nesigqoko leso. Chaza nje lokho owakubona.
Asasibona isigqoko njengoba bese ngishilo konke lokho kungesakubona.
As I've already said, we saw the head.
In the position of someone or on the floor?
Nisibona siphethwe umuntu noma nisibona sileli phansi.
Isigqoko sasiphansi kodwa sasingena information ukuthi esikabani ngoba siphansi esalaba abantu abagangile noma ezomuntu obekhona la endlini kodwa umama mayesesithathe ethi nazi nesigqoko sabo sithi hayi mama sibuyisele khona lapho phansi mangingesabo leso.
All he wants you to tell is where the head was when you saw it. Just that.
Usecala ke ungase uchaza konke ukuthi nje inkathi usibona noma nisibona isigqoko nasibona sikuphi nendawo sibona siphansi yilokho nje kuphela ungakaphendula.
Your Lordship, my colleague, senior counsel asked a simple question. The state didn't answer that question. The question was, will the state call Makuma? He never answered that question. Instead, he directed the witness how to answer questions, which should make it very difficult for the witness in the box.
Why?
we have a list of witnesses. I don't want to go there, but the state must answer the objection that was raised by senior counsel.
My sense was that after the objection, there was a rephrasing of the question. I mean, it's not like he's writing an exam. He questioned whether, she questioned whether Makumalo will be called, and he rephrased the question.
But yeah, Leadership, that's the problem. That's the big problem we are having now.
What is
because
the
it
problem?
means the state, the court is drawing inference from what the state said. The state must reply. The objection is very simple.
What?
The state must reply to the objection. It's very simple.
He
Are you going to call
he
Ms.
rephrased the
Kumalo,
question.
yes or no?
Do you have an objection to the rephrased question?
Yes, I do. That's hence I
Yeah,
rise.
then explain what your objection
My
is.
objection is the state never replied to the objection by the.
That's not a problem. He rephrased. That question is no longer there. I even expand some of the things. Let's proceed.
We are creating a problem in this matter, Your Lordship.
Yeah. Okay, sit
There's a
down.
problem.
Sit down.
We need-
Let's proceed.
That's not procedure, what the state did.
Yes, sit down.
But Lordship, how can the court say sit down, whereas I'm trying to explain to the court?
I'm
I'm trying to assist the court. The witness is trying to assist the court.
I don't need your assistance on this one.
No, I'm saying the witness-
question has been rephrased. I've taken the question. He's answering it. And please don't delay us. Sit
No,
down.
let me finish. The state didn't say I'm rephrasing, actually. The state, when counsel raised the objection, the state just said, answer the question this way, this way. The state should have said, Your Lordship, we here rephrase our question. Then that's procedure.
Let's proceed.
As a court, please proceed, Sergeant Mteto. You mentioned that you saw the head on the kitchen floor.
Shilo ukuthi isigqoko nasibona noma wasibona siphansi ekitchen ungaqhubeka ke.
Yebo. Lesi sigqoko sasithola siphansi ekitchen.
We found the head there on the kitchen floor.
Yes.
Kwafika no Captain Zwane sambonisa ke yonke nathi into esiyibonile.
Captain Zwane arrived and we showed him everything we saw.
Yes.
Yes.
Yebo.
Naye waye busy ke ekhuluma nanomama I think wayefuna naye ukuyizwela ngeside lakhe.
And he was busy speaking to the lady, Makumalo. I think he wanted to hear himself from the lady.
Yes.
Ngoba thina sasisalinde uphotographer ukuthi afike.
Because we were still waiting for the photographer to arrive.
Yes.
Yes, proceed.
Ungaqhubeka.
Yes, wafika ke uphotographer wayo esinini mayefika ke wayintroduce kwaku uConstable Msiya.
The photographer arrived on the scene and introduced himself as Constable Msiya.
Yebo kwaku Constable Msiya.
Constable Msiya.
Yes.
Yes.
Yebo.
Sa busy sakhuluma no Captain Zwane ke ngoba phela uye vele wama detective wayesekhona nathi simbonisile.
He was then busy speaking to Captain Zwane because Captain Zwane was now there and coming from the detectives section or unit, and we had already showed him what happened.
Yes.
Kuthe nje sikuse kanjalo sanda kufika nje uMsiya and then kwafika khona team eyafikayo ithe
Whilst Constable Msiya had just arrived, there is this team that arrived. The witness seemed not to be sure about what the team is referred to or called.
the task team. Yes.
Task team.
Yes.
Yebo.
Umuntu engangimazi kuleya task team kwaku Brigadier Ndlovu.
The person that I knew from that task team was Brigadier Ndlovu.
Yes.
Yes.
Yebo.
Is he still alive?
Usaphila
Or you don't know?
noma wazi?
Anginayo isho ngizwe nje kuthiwa nami usendlulile anginayo isiqiniseko salokho ke.
I'm not certain. I just heard that he is no more, but I'm not certain about that.
Yes.
Yathi ke iteam no as icase kuyi high profile case izothathwa yibo bacela ukuthi sibe excuse.
The task team then told us or said to us, seeing that it was a high profile matter, they were now going to take over the matter, so we may be excused.
Yes.
Yes. Proceed.
Yebo.
Hayi ngoba vele no Captain Zwane wayesembonisile nomsiya okuningi nathi vele sasesiqedile kahle kahle thina okwethu ngoba kwakubhala nje i statement then si hand over ku Captain Zwane and then ayi sabona ukuthi ke hayi asibashiye into nezinkulu.
Because Captain Zwane had already shown Msia everything, and we had already also written scene statements, and we then decided that since the request has now been made, so let's leave the big bosses.
Yes.
Yes. You may proceed.
Maqhubeka.
And then into esasiyenza ke sahamba sayoma nje ngaphandle just ukugada nje isini sayimela ngaphandle.
We just went outside just to stand there to guard the scene.
Yes.
Yebo.
No noma ngingasakhumbulike kahle lapha ngathi noma sahamba sayo register oyi1 wahamba o register docket wabuya kodwa khona sakwenzayo lapha ngisakhumbula kahle phela kusekudala.
It's quite a while ago, although I can't remember well. I think one of us had to go and register the docket and came back, but I am not certain as with regards to that.
Yes.
Yebo.
Until what time were you there on the scene?
Kwaze kwashaya siphi isikhathi ulapho noma nilapho wena ke nozakwenu lapho kwisini.
Uma ngaphosi sithini u10 mhlambe sase police station phela. Ngingabheka ukuthi siothe ngobani itempu zethu lapha police station kodwa nje around 10 thina sase sise police station.
I think by 10 we were already at the police station. Maybe we can just have a look as to what time our statements were commissioned, but I think by 10 we were at the police station.
Is it all?
Yeah, kuphelele lapho.
Yebo kuphela.
That is correct, that's all.
Just want to show you certain photos.
Neyithombe nje engifisa ukuthi ke ngikhombise zona.
That will be Exhibit A. Photo 1. Can you just?
Kuzobheka lapha ne.
Can you just show photo 1 of Exhibit A? Advocate Sibanda.
In the court.
Do you recognize photo 1?
Lesi sithombe lesi uyasazi?
Yebo ngiyasazi.
Yes, I do.
Yes. As which one?
Yini?
As which
Yeah.
place?
Yiphi indawo?
Kukhona lapho le ndaba esikhuluma ngayo lapho kukhona.
That's the place that we were talking about here.
And the vehicle on the photo?
Kunemoto elapha esithombeni.
Ngibona kancane kodwa.
Although I see it slightly, but I can see it.
Yes, do you recognize it?
Yes.
Ngasho ukuthi phela ma TV kanje yayona ngiyayazi.
Yes, I know it. It is the vehicle.
Which one?
Yiphi yona?
Mangaphosisi ngathi le ayihamba lo sisi lo Kelly.
If
Esibhedlela sahlangana naye mayiphuma esibhedlela.
not mistaken, it's the vehicle that Kelly was traveling in whilst we were driving into hospital and the vehicle was coming out.
You mentioned the name of Kelly. When did you recognize her? When did you see her for the first time?
Uthi ke uKelly noma ukhuluma ngoKelly ke umbone nini ke kokuqala wambona nini kokuqala?
Awu ngangingamazi la kumazi ke mina yena kodwa ke bathi basebengichazela ukuthi uyena Kelly ke lo ngabe sengimazi ukuthi uye sebengitshela nale ndoda esisebenza nayo isisho ukuthi hayi uKelly ke lo ngangingamazi kakhulu uqamba.
I didn't know her, but I was then informed or told that this is Kelly, and then when I said, because even my colleague told me, now this is the real Kelly.
There's a cordon there or tape. What can you tell the court about the tape?
Kunaleya tape ekhona noma siyibonayo lapha yini ongayitshela inkantolo ngaleya tape?
Yafakwa yithi tape angithi sizovala phela isini senze ukuthi ngaloku gcogcoma abantu phakathi.
We are the ones who put that tape there. We were cordoning the scene off so that the scene cannot be, then a lot of people shouldn't be moving around the scene.
When you came back from the hospital, were there people at the house?
Ngathi senibuya ke nibuye esibhedlela manje kwakunabantu lapha endlini.
Hayi endlini phakathi kwangena abantu.
Inside the house there were no people.
Yes.
Kwangena abantu.
Anywhere else?
Babe khona nje ngaphandle kabantu labo vele.
Yes, there were people outside.
Is it on the premises or in the street?
Babe ngaphakathi egcekeni noma babe ngaphandle estradini.
Babe ngaphandle estradini.
Outside in the street.
Photo 2. Is it the same premises?
Yebo kuseseyiyo.
Yes, it is.
And photo 3.
So yona.
Yebo yiyo futhi.
It's still the same.
Yes. You explained that you gain entrance via the kitchen door. Are you able to identify the kitchen door there?
Usitshelile ke ukuthi nangena umnyango wasekitchen ingabe uyawubona umnyango wasekitchen la?
Yiyo impela ngithi yiwo lo impela lo uvule ibhaka.
I think that's the one where the butler the gate is open.
And that's photo number?
3.
Yes.
And photo number 4.
This just on stomach.
Yebo yiso.
It's still the place.
Sorry, what is it?
It's still the house.
Yes, but maybe show photo 5.
Photo 5.
Yebo yiyo.
Yes, it is.
It's what?
Yini.
Just explain to the court.
Sichazele yini.
Oh isiqoko lesiya.
That's the head.
Ngoba vele eceleni kwesiqoko ngithi kwakhona ikhona lokhu projectile.
Because next to the head, the projectile was there.
Yes.
Yebo.
There's a yellow cone there. Do you know who put that cone there?
Uyazi ukuthi leya khona yellow yabekwa ubani lapha?
Ngathi yabekwa umsiya maye maka yona lantengana lapha lento la.
eMakhanda.
Maka i-bullet project right.
It was placed there by Musia when he was marking the bullet project height.
Photo 6. Yes, what is your comment on photo 6?
Uthini-ke kule sithombe 6?
Ayikho yikho lokhu bekuveze eqaleni.
It's still what was shown previously.
Photo 8.
Yikho lokhu bengikusho khathi ngikutshela ukuthi umnyango lapho wawulimele lapha phezulu.
That's what I was referring to when I made mention of the damaged door.
Which photo number?
Photo number 8, my lord.
Yes.
Sergeant Teta, did you make any other observations on the scene, or are these the only observations that you made?
Ukhona okunye yini owakubona khona laphana kwindawo yesehlakalo noma yilokhu kuphela owakubona?
Hayi lokhu engakubona lokhu engikubhale impela lapho.
These are the only observations, and that's what I wrote down in my statement.
If just finally, if you turn to photo number 114 and 115, it's page 90 of the exhibit bundle, photo 114. Photo 114. What is your comment on that photo?
Uthini ngalesi sithombe 114?
Ngithi ngishilo ngathi safika amakhani.
I did mention that we saw cans.
Yes, 115. 116. And 117.
Ngishilo impela safika wena ngoba leyandlo awazi noma ususe kitchen noma ususe dining room. So ngeke nami ngisho ukuthi lamakhani ase kitchen noma ase dining room.
As I've said, in that house, you don't know whether you're in the kitchen, you're in the dining room, but as I said, that we just found those cans there, so I don't know where exactly in the house we found them.
Thank you, my lord. Those are the aspects that we wanted to place on record.
Cross-examination.
Justice, before I start with cross-examination, I just want to find out from the court that it will also expunge testimony of Mr. Musia about Makumalo? If he's there.
Mr. Baloyi?
As the court pleases, my lord, we've got no problem, with that. If the witness is not called at the end of the day, and the state doesn't apply for admissibility of any hearsay evidence, that will have to be expunged from the record. But
So you are saying it's a call you are going to make
At the
from
end.
your side
Yes.
at a later stage?
yes, as the court pleases.
There was a concern raised that it confuses the defense because they will not be able to assess what emphasis to lay on some of the issues because they are left thinking that this witness may be called or may not be called. And yet you are there leading evidence where you should immediately stop it if it's coming in a sense that will involve a witness that we will not call. And I think that is a justifiable concern.
Indeed, my lord, that's why with this witness we try to restrict him to what he observed, and that's generally how each witness should testify about their own observations.
There you are.
Thank you. Justice, may I proceed?
Yes.
Sir, how long did you work in Fosaras before the incident in question?
Wawunesikhathi esingakanani ke usebenza khona ke Foslorus ngaphambi kwalesi sehlakalo lesi?
Hayi u5 iminyaka.
5 years.
Thank you. Sir, I put it to you that before this matter was postponed for 2 months, you were watching the testimony of first witness on your phone outside the court with your colleague. What's your comment?
Ngizocela ukuzwa kuwena ukuthi thini ke ngaphambilini kokuthi icala leli lihlehliswe inyanga ezimbili wena ke kanye nozakwenu la ngaphandle enkantolo nanihlezi nibuke ubufakazi noma nibheke ubufakazi bukafakazi bokuqala umsiya uthini ke kulokho efonini
Noma ngayithatha ifoni yami ayina TV ifoni yami. Nakho nazo zonke lento ezidownloadayo ayinakho ino WhatsApp usho.
Even if you were to take my phone doesn't have all these smart things. The only thing I have on my phone is WhatsApp. My phone doesn't even have a TV.
Sir, that was not the question. The question is you were watching whether you were using your phone or your colleague's phone. Whether your phone doesn't have a TV is not the question. You can use other media platform to watch the proceedings. That's the question.
Asiwona ke umbuzo lowo ke umbuzo ukuthi nikubhekile kuthi nikubheke efonini yakho nibheke efonini kazakwenu noma ifoni yakho ayinayo iTV kodwa ke ngasebenzisa nje amanye ama platforms ukuthi nikubheke lokho. No, we went watching.
Your Lordship will leave that for argument for the sake of progress. You firstly said you received a call and further said that the report came from the radio control. It's fine with me. Actually, I want to ask you, who was making such communication to you about the incident?
Ubani lo wayekhuluma nani mayelana nesehlakalo? Ubani lo owanazisa ngesehlakalo?
Radio control.
Radio control.
Sir, radio control is controlled by someone, that person who was posted on the radio control. Not so?
Radio
Supposed to have a
control
name.
ke unomuntu osebenza khona lapha yana ke kunomuntu obekwe lapha yana ke ocontroller ke iradio leyo akunjalo.
Kunjalo.
That's correct.
It's fine with me if you don't know the name, but if you know the name, can't you tell the court?
Uma ngabulazi ke igama laleyo muntu sicela ichazele inkantolo uma ungalazi ke kulungile.
laba bantu bale Midrand ufike mawungena emsebenzini ubhuke lapha ku rate awumbuzi negama lakho ukuthi ubani uyabhuka lapha usho ukuthi uhamba ngemoto enje ubani angimazi igama lakho ukuthi ubani.
These people are there in Midrand. When you report for duty, you report there, and you also mention that I am traveling in such and such a vehicle. You don't ask that person who that person's name is.
Nama complaint bantu mabefona ingenela kube call center bona ke ngoba ububhukhile washo ukuthi usebenze for Slolas bona ke sebezolokhu ngasebezo dispatch icomplaint kuleyo moto esebenza kuleyo sector le ngoba basuke bayazi ukuthi imoto enje isebenza kuleyo sector le.
Even when the people report or the complaints come through, because you had booked and said that you are working in Phosphorus and traveling in such a vehicle, they then dispatch that complaint to that vehicle or that person who drives that vehicle who reported that I am working in Phosphorus.
Fair enough. Justice, if I'm rushing, maybe can
No.
indicate I stop.
No. I was waiting for you.
Thank you. Fair enough. What time did the communication come through?
Ukuthola kwenu leyo mbiko na uthola ngobani isikhathi noma leyo complaint leyo.
7 minutes to 9.
It was 7 minutes,
Suku.
7 minutes before 9 in the evening.
Yes?
Thank you. If you recall, when the state asked you this question, you firstly said 8:45, then you changed to 7 minutes to 9. Am I correct?
Uqale ke eqaleni wathi kwakungu 8:45 wasuphinde yashintsha ke uthi 7 minutes to 9 ingabe ngiqinisile?
Ngithe 5-2 ngizosho ukuthi bengikushiso yini lokho ngoba ithi lapha 2053.
Okay, bambi lapho. I first said 5 to 9, and I'm going to explain as to why I say that, because there it's noticed as 2053. Maqhubeka.
So ingakho ke manje ngithi ngcono ngivele ngisho isikhathi ngithi kube kusela imizuzu ewu7 ukuba kushaya u9 ingakho ke manje bona ngathi sengididiza nje.
Hence, I then decided then to give you the exact time and say that it was 7 minutes before 9.
Okay, fair enough. Is it control 1? What is the call sign of the control room and your channel? The channel of your control room, the one you're using in Phosphorus.
Control 1, noma
Group 15.
Group 15.
Group
Is that now room 15 in Midrand? Did you say Midrand?
Group 15 use Midrand noma?
Ngizophinde ngichaze mfowethu. Angithi iteshi njengathi Katlehong Phosphorus iDon Park si group 15 sifola under group 15.
Alright. I'll explain this again. It's Katlehong, it's Phosphorus, it's Don Park. We fall under group 15.
Noma nginayisho namanye ama station khona amanye. Then uthola ukuthi neAlbert nani nabo bazoba mhlambe igroup 14. Kuba ngama group.
Then you'll find that there's Albertine and some other places. For example, there would be a group 14.
But radio control wethu osiphethe sonke ukuthi abantu mabefona kulezi number 1121011 izo reporter ngokugcina kwami ngingazi ke manje ibi reporter eMidrand. Then eMidrand sebezokwazi ukuthi le complaint yase Phosphorus of which ishuthi ya ku group 15 but ku Victor Rome.
Victor?
Sengisho
VR.
izolokhu
Azama uyazi bemfushane mfethu akitho niyayazi lento ukhuluma ngayo ngisebenza emaphoyiseni mina and nama-term wakho so asiyenze bemfushane.
Okay.
Yeah. For an example, my lord, there's this one place, whether the people call 112 or 10111, where the complaints go to, and then they would then be dispatched to Midrand. Now Midrand is aware or knows that this particular complaint is for Phosphorus, so they would then there's what this witness refers to as VR, Victor Rome. So they would be able to know which group that complaint must be dispatched to.
So Victor Romeo, not Victor Romeo, V is for Phosphorus.
Victor Romo nje is phosphorus. Singakhipha lo Victor Romo sithi nje phosphorus.
We just say phosphorus and remove the Victor Romeo.
No, that's how you operate it. It's Victor Romeo, and that communication was only meant for Victor Romeo.
So leyana nje yona ke i-communication yana kwakuyinje yase ka VR.
Ithi ke ngichazele futhi. Nathi ke phosphorus sinama sector of which is sector 1, sector 2, sector 3, sector 4, sector 5.
Bambela Pok. Even us in phosphorus we have sectors. Sector 1, sector 2, 3, 4 and 5. Maqhubeka.
Imoto siyihlukanise sithi le moto izosebenza sector 1 le ngama sector khona.
Alright, and then even the vehicles, we then separate the vehicles and say this vehicle is going to work for sector 1 and then according to the different sectors.
Senzela ukuthi ngoba uma sonke sisebenza sonke endaweni eyodwa angeke manje ukhona ongeke attend kwenye indawo uzokhona ukuthi ubani uyaya. So siyayihlukanisa. Sasu-2 ke thina ku sector 1.
Alright, Bambela Pok. Because if all of us are at the same place, now people or some of us won't be attend to complaints because that person will say no, so and so went there. So we in this particular vehicle we are working for sector 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shuthi sector 1 ngendlela enkulu ngayayi inkulu nje ifuna imoto ezimbili.
Sector 1 is so big it requires 2 vehicles.
So ingakho nangalala ngasathi esibhedlela safonela laba abanye ababesiza ukuthi abazomala sibuyelele imoto zazimbili. Ingakho icomplaint yangena kithi kuyatholwa yithi. Ngicabanga usubuyelele lo mbuzo.
Hence, my lord, when we then contacted, when we had to move, we contacted our colleagues and say, you come and keep guard here so that we can go back there because there were 2 vehicles. I think now that question is answered.
Thank you. Sir, in your statement, you mentioned that the suspect was wearing, in your testimony today, you mentioned that the suspect was wearing the hat. Did you see the suspect? That's the question. Did you see the suspect wearing the hat?
In the statement, you said. Mr. Tobani, you said in the
Sorry,
statement.
when you testified today.
Okay. Ngathi ke ufakaza namhlanje ke uthe umsolwa wayegqoke noma wayethweleke isigqoko. Ingabe wambona yini umsolwa?
Ibuyela lapha lento la besiphikisana khona ukuthi isigqoko ngisibonile, yes ngisibonile isigqoko. Kodwa phela kumele ngichaze ukuthi isigqoko ngazi kanjani ukuthi kumele ukuthi sibe ngama suspect.
It goes back to what was the problem before, because yes, I saw the head, but now I must explain as to how did I get to know that the head belonged to the suspect.
For the sake of progress, let's just answer yes or no. Were you at the scene when whatever happened there, and did you see the suspect wearing the hat?
Sacela ke ukuthi nje mhlasimbe nje uphendule nje lokho okubuzwayo ke. Ingabe wawukhona lapho kwindawo yesehlakalo nkathi kwenzeka ke lokho okwenzeka and wambona yini umsolwa ethwele isigqoko?
Hayi cha ngaze ngimbona.
No, I didn't see it.
Yes.
Thank you, Lord. I put it to you, from the hospital, as you testified, you went back to the house, correct?
Ushiva wathi umani buya ke noma umani suke esibhedlele nabuyela khona endlini kunjalo.
Yebo kunjalo.
That's correct.
I further put it to you that when you arrived for the first time, you never saw the head and the projectile. As your testimony bears that today in this court, today when you testified, when you said when you arrived first time on the scene, you never talked about the head and the projectile, correct?
Nkathi nifika okokuqala lapha yana awushongo lutho mayelana projectile nesigqoko ukusho ukuthi nkathi nifika okokuqala ngaphambilini kokuthi nibuye manje senibuye kwesibili ngalesi sikhathi nifika okokuqala awusibonanga isigqoko neprojectile.
Hayi angikhulumanga vele ngakho ngoba ukho la bekusathi ngibonene endlini khona.
I didn't mention it because there was nothing that asked me or that wanted me to explain or there was no question as to what I saw inside the house.
Sir, it is your testimony that Temba opened the door and you unlocked the door and you opened, you went inside the house. Correct?
Kubufakazi bakho ke ukuthi kathi nifika okokuqala navulela uyena ke umalume othe uThemba wangena nani nangena phakathi kunjalo.
Kunjalo.
That's correct.
It is very correct that you used the kitchen door
Ningena ngawo ke umnyango wase kitchen.
Yebo sangena
That's
umnyango
correct.
wasekitchen.
and you went in the kitchen,
Nangena khona kitchen.
Yebo sangena
That's
ekitchen.
correct.
the house itself. Even you went inside the house like through the kitchen.
Ningena
That's
khona ke endlini ngamanye amagama ningena khona la ekitchen nangena endlini.
Yebo.
Yes.
And you testify that these items, the projectile, the head, the crutch, they were in the kitchen. Correct?
Ushilo futhi ke ukuthi lokhu isigqoko iprojectile kanye futhi ke nayo icrash lena ke zazikhona lapho ekitchen.
Yebo.
Yes.
You didn't need Makumalo for you to see them. You didn't need Makumalo to tell you what happened for you to see them. You're supposed to have seen them when you entered.
Wangadingeki makhumalo ke ukuthi nize nikubone noma makhumalo anitshele ukuze nikubone nkathi nje ningena nakubona.
Yazi ungena kwethu kokuqala endlini. Akekho umuntu ayine information nawo malume loyo wayengazi lutho.
When we went into the house for the first time, no one had information. Even the uncle himself knew nothing.
Ake ngikhulume ngecrashes masingena. Lali khona lapha. Isigqoko sasikhona kodwa ngoba asasilutho siyangena nje siyaphuma nomalume uthakazi kwenzakalani. So ingqondo zethu uma singena lapha zisesibhedlela ukuthi ayiwanda kwenzakaleni neinformation ukuthi siyithole mele siphuthume siye esibhedlela.
So we see the crashes there, the projectile is there, or the head is there. But now we don't have any information. Even the uncle himself doesn't know as to what happened. Now our minds are in hospital, so as for us to be able to get information and to know as to what happened.
Hayi projectile sasalibona sesibuye kwesibili.
Okay, the projectile, sorry my lord, we only saw the projectile when we came back for the second time.
Sir, we leave the court. That was not my question.
Akusona ke umbuzo wami loyo.
My question was and is, a reasonable person, when you walk in a house, through the kitchen, you will see those items and you should have testified that you didn't have to wait for someone to ask you that question when you gave testimony.
Akushoyo ke ukuthi nje ukuthi eqaleni uma ngabe ufakazi eqala ukuthi nje bekufanele ukuthi ufakazileke noma ukushilo lokho bekungafanele ukuthi uze ulinde ubuzwe ngalokho bekufanele ukuthi nje yinto oyikhulumele wena ukuthi ke wabonani noma nabonani inkathi ningena.
Your answer?
Impendulo yakho?
Ngiyaphinda futhi ukuthi ukungena kwethu endlini singena kokuqala wangekho emqondweni even kwalo umuntu esimtholile ngoba ngishilo ukuthi ngizolo ngiphinda into eyodwa kwalo ngishilo lo muntu loyo wayengena information engenalutho sayibona icrashes yayikhona lapha sasibona isiqhaqho but i-projectile sasibona sesibuye kwesibili ngoba sasesicinga kahle.
I'll repeat the same thing all over again, my lord. That the person that we were with had no information. Yes, we saw the crash there. We saw the head. We only saw the projectile when we came back for the second time. It was only then that we were able to think properly.
Yeah, for the sake of progress, I will leave it for argument. I further put it to you that when you opened the door and went into the house, you contaminated the scene. What's your comment?
Ngizophinde ngithi kuwena ke uma nifika lapha yana ke seningena phakathi ke endlini ngathi ke naphazamisa nje nisebenzisa igama lesilungu na contaminator naphazamisa indawo leyo yesehlakalo isini leyo.
Ngitshela noma uyangibuza.
Is that a question or a statement?
It's a statement.
Ngiyakutshela.
Oh.
Okay.
What's your comment?
Uthini? No.
You know what is contamination?
Uyazi ukuphazamisa noma contaminator yini?
Ngoba usushilo nje ukuphazamisa ke sengikubambile ukuthi yini.
Now that it has been interpreted, now I've captured this what it is.
We work with this since as you testify that when you came back for the second time, you condemned the sin.
Can you repeat?
You condemned the sin when you came for the second time.
You what?
Cordon.
Okay. Okay, manje ngokushilo ke wathi inkathi nibuye kwesibini ne angithi nithathe le tape yenu navala. Yes.
I put it to you. For the first time, when you arrived there at the scene, you never protected the scene. Instead of doing that, you rushed to the hospital.
Zothi kuwena ke inkathi nifika lapha yana okokuqala ke anizange ke isinde yana ke noma indawo yesehlakalo ni protect noma nivikeleke onakwenza nini ukuthi nje nijahele esibhedlela.
Sifike kokuqala sasothi sivikele isini yani kwenzakaleni.
We arrived for the first time. What were we going to say? What sin are we protecting? What happened?
For the benefit of the doubt, I won't answer the question, but I'll put the question to what is just said, Your Lordship. What was your purpose going to that house in the first place?
Okokuqala noma ekuqaleni ke nkathi niya khona lapha yana naniya nganhlosoni kwakuyini inhloso yokuthi niye lapha yana.
Ukuthola ukuthi complaint it was shooting in progress. Kuyenzeka uthola complaint kuthiwa shooting in progress. Mawufika lapha njengalapha nje safika kuthiwa shooting in progress. Masifika lapha umalume uthi talk dubulene la and kuthiwa bekuliwa. So angazi kwenzakaleni basesibhedlela.
Okay, bambe lapho. When we received a complaint, it was conveyed to us as shooting in progress. And we arrived there, it was said it was a shooting in progress. We asked the uncle what had happened. He said to us that it's alleged that there was a shooting, it's alleged that they were fighting, now they are in hospital. Yeah, okay.
Sir, you saying they were fighting, and you say that there was a shooting there. You don't mention anything about maybe let's say for instance robbery. You're saying just there was shooting. It's what you're saying now. You say they were fighting. Who were fighting? Who were fighting?
Uthi babelwa, uthi babedubulana, obani, kwakubani babelwa, obani babedubulana. Uqeda usho kusho wena manje.
Angithi lo muntu esamthola lapha wayengenalo ulwazi ukuthi kwenzakalani lapha.
Is it not that the person that we found there had no information as to what had happened there?
Manje wayekhuluma noma yini?
Now he was saying whatever.
Nokukhondola isini sasokhondola isini yani.
Even cordoning the sin off. What sin were we going to cordon off?
Because masibuya esibhedlela sesine information yonke sesiyazi ukuthi kwenzakalani like ngomuntu obekhona la kwenzakala lento. Ingakho sikhondola isini manje sesikhona nokuthi sibheke yonke into sesithola nama projector understand ukuthi isiqoko esikabani understand ukuthi ilantingana lokho kuhamba indukule nekabani lendukule.
Hence now when we're coming back from the hospital, we now had information from someone who was there. Now we were able to know as to who the head belonged to, as to who the crash belonged to. Now we were also able to cordon the scene off.
I put it to you, whatever you just said now, it don't stand because you were not there. And you cannot tell us where did you get that information from.
Konke lokho okushoyo ke angeke kumeke enkantolo ngoba ke wawungekho lapha yana futhi. Engeke futhi ungeke kusho ukuthi kwakusuka kubani noma wakutshelwa ubani.
Do you have a comment? If you don't have a comment, just say no comment.
Uma akukho nje ungakushisho nje uthi cha akukho ngakusho.
Hayi akukho engakusho.
No comment, my lord.
Okay, sir, let's go to the protocol of officers when they arrive at the scene. What is the role of a first police officer, as you were the one, when you arrive at the scene? What is your role?
Asihambeke ngokwendlela ke ekusetshenzwa ngayo esiphoyiseni. Nanjengephoyisa lokuqala ke elafika ke kuyona ke isini. Yinike umsebenzi wakho nanjengephoyisa lokuqala lokufika kwisini.
Yokuqala mawufika esinini uthola mhlambe noma eyewitness or any witness ebekhona ichazele ngestory understand the story ukuthi kwenzakaleni, then if you have to ukhondole isini ukhondole isini.
Masibambe lapho ke. What you do when upon arrival on the scene, you seek or look for a witness, an eyewitness or just a witness that was there to inform you as to what happened. And then if there is a need, you then cordon off the scene. Ngaqhubeka.
Ngoba usuya understand ukwenzakalani esinini usulokhu ngake usubiza ke amalantingana ka ama role player ufonela iCSC ngoba asinakho ukuthi sofona thina sisebenzisa amafonini ukuthi kubizele mhlawumbe uphotographer, detective, bonke abantu okumele beze esinini.
Okay. Because by now you've got information and you understand as to what is going on, as to what happened on the scene, you now contact the CSC to inform or call the relevant role players, because we are in no position to make such calls because we are making use of our own phones.
Sir, the question was, when you arrive for the first time as the first officer at the scene, I put it to you that the first thing you're supposed to do is to secure the crime scene. First time when you arrive, not second time, when you arrive first time.
Ngithi kwena ke mina ke into okufanele ukuthi uyenzeke nanjengephoyisa lokuqala nje, okokuqala hayi kufanele ukuthi uhambe ube sewubuye kwesibili. Okokuqala nje ufika into yokuqala oyenzayo ke ukuthi ukwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi isini leyo ke uyayisecure.
Siniyani.
What scene?
Sir,
because lana kunzima la ukuthi uzosecure uzovala isini eyani isini engiyivalayo. Is it a murder? Is it an attempted murder? Or it's a shooting nje kudutshulene kwabaleka abantu? Akekho umuntu ongitshela information. Angazi umuntu esibhedlela noma uyaphila noma ushonini. Angazi eyani isini mangiyikhondola la lo muntu ngimbiza ngimfonela ngithi ama photographer azokwenzana. Eyani isini ngoba azongibuza na ukuthi sizokwenzani lapha.
Because my lord, it is difficult in this instance that I'm calling off a scene. I don't know, it's a murder, it's an attempted murder, it's a shooting, there is someone who's in hospital, I don't know whether that person is alive or dead, and even if I were to call the photographer would want to know what am I coming to do there.
sir, let's be on the same page. You left the scene and you went to the hospital. So you compromised the crime scene and exposed it for possible contamination. For instance, you even mentioned when you came back from the hospital, there were already people around the house.
Okwenzekileke ukuthi nihambile noma nahamba ke naya esibhedleleke manje ke senivulela ke amathuba ukuthi kungenzeka noma yini ke khona lana nanjengoba ushilo kubufakazi bakho ukuthi inkathi nibuya senibuye kwesibili ke nibuya sekunabantu la ngaphandle.
Lophinda ibe mude futhi ungixolele mfowethu. Ngiyabona ukube kuthiwa nasesibhedlela ngavele ngashiya kanjalo ngahamba. Ngabe ngiyayivuma lento eshoyo. Esibhedlela ngafonela abantu before ngihamba ukuthi because ngiyazi kwenzakalani esibhedlela ngine information. Ingakho ngifonela abantu ukuthi emadoda nizongigadela la ngibuyele esinini fast ngiyovala lapha ngibona ukwenze njalo. If ukube kuthiwa ngangazi nalapho ukuthi kwenzakalani ngangeke ngivele ngishiye nje kanjalo ngangizofonela abantu because ngiyazi ukuthi kwenzakalani la ngizobafonela into emadoda ngicela ningigadele nayo isini ngibuyelele kwabona mangibafonela la bazothi isini yani imithetho nki
It was going to be now a problem if I had left hospital or I would have understood that if he had just left hospital. But now, before leaving the hospital, I contacted my colleagues because by then I had known or I had information as to what had happened. So now I was able to call them and say, gentlemen, come, or colleagues, come and keep guard here. I must rush now back to the scene because I now have this information of what happened. If I just left the hospital without knowing and called them, they would have asked me questions. What are we coming to look after here?
Sir, with due respect, I put it to you that on that evening you did things vice versa. You should have remained. Okay.
Zothi kwena ke izinto nje nazenza nje ngenye indlela noma ngendlela ekungasiyona.
Vice versa.
Ngiyaxolisa nami mangiphakamisile mfowethu umfowethu. Mhlawumbe indlela engikhuluma ngayo. Angizi kumphikisa naye mayebona ukuthi izinto sazenza ngenye indlela kodwa nakithi ngangendlela ezaziyiyo zazi ngenye indlela.
I'm not going to dispute when you say that we did things vice versa, but even for us, things were vice versa.
And I further put it to you that what you did with your crew is a departmental offense in the SAPS. When you arrived at the scene first time, instead of both of you going to the hospital, maybe one should have went to the hospital, or those people you called them to go to the hospital, you should have called them and tell them, go to hospital. I want to stay here at the scene.
Ngizothi ke futhi ke nalokho enakwenza ke kwakuyinto nje engathi ngaphakathi ke khona la emsebenzini ke kwakuno ningakwazi ke nokuthi nithajelwe ke ngoba ekuthini nihambe nababili niye esibhedlela kwakungasala oyedwa kuhamba oyedwa noma laba bantu labo owabafonele ufonele bona ke uthi hambani esibhedlela thina sizosala la.
Hayi iphoyisa la ngelisale lodwa lapha esingine engazi kade kudutshulwana sekushiya iphoyisa lodwa iphoyisa hamba ngamabili kuthi ngangeke ngibabize nalaba ngibabize into abangazi ukuthi yini kwamina ngizoyichaza ukuthi kuthiwa kudutshulwena then
there is no way that one police officer was going to remain at the scene, and it was also alleged that there was a shooting. Now you leave one police officer. Police officers operate in twos. Even the ones that I called, what was I going to call them for and say what happened?
Sir, in Zulu, you said July. It means that you're saying they shot at each other. So to say.
hayi mfowethu uyawasebenzisa abamaningi lamagama kodwa kusala kwakune shooting khona lapho noma bekuthiwa kudutshulwe noma kuthiwa kudubuliwe kodwa kwakudubulekile khona into eyenzakele lapha enokudubula phakathi so is it ukudutshulwenwe or dubuling or what kodwa kwakunokudubula phakathi.
Whatever word you use, you seem to be using a lot of words, but the bottom line is there was a shooting there.
On that evening, you had your pocketbook, correct?
Well, we paid the pocketbook.
Yebo nganginayo.
Yes.
When you arrived first time at the scene, what did you do with your pocketbook?
Ngathi ke ngifika kokuqala lapha yana waye wenzani ngepocketbook yakho?
Ngiyabhala.
I wrote.
What did you write?
Wabhalani?
Abangisakhumbuli mhlambe ngamele ukuthi ngiyilande pocketbook ngibuyise umqondo ngoba angifuni ukuqamba manje ngikhumbula into yango 2014.
I can't remember. I will have to go and get my pocketbook and refresh my memory because now I'll be telling lies and say I'm able to remember something that I wrote in 2014.
Your Lordship, with the leave the court, will make an application that the witness locate his pocketbook, but in the meantime we'll proceed. But we really need for him to locate that pocketbook. It is in the hands of the court. The state may assist in that regard, Your Lordship.
There you are, Mr. Tetra. Is it possible for you to locate the pocketbook?
Kungenzeka ukuthi itholakala mfethu.
Yebo ngizohamba ngiyocela lapha police station ngoba khona la siwabeka khona mayisephelile.
Yes, my lord, I will go back to the police station and request for it because they are placed somewhere once they are full.
Thank you. So, you testified that from the hospital you went back to the house with your crew and Makumalo, correct?
Uthe ke khona ke uma senibuya ke esibhedlele nibuyele khona ke endlini. You said crew.
Yeah, his crew, the one he works with, he knows what I'm talking about.
Nihamba naye ke uMakhumalo nkathi senibuyele endlini.
Yebo kunjalo.
That is correct.
When you left the hospital, did something else happen? When you left the hospital, did something else happen around you?
Kukhona okwenzeka kunina noma khona okwenzeka nje nkathi ke senihamba esibhedlele.
Hayi angazi njengana kukho.
Like what?
You and your crew, did you use one car, or Miss Makhumalo used another car, or you were with her in your car?
Nanihamba naye uMakhumalo emotweni eyodwa.
Yebo sasihamba naye.
We were traveling with her in the same vehicle.
So only three of you arrived at the house from the hospital.
Inina kuphela abafika endlini. Ababe kule moto
Le
nifika
moto.
endlini.
Yes, afika endlini yebo.
In that vehicle, yes.
And you never spoke to anyone outside the hospital before you left, correct?
Ngaphandle esibhedlela ngaphambilini kokuthi nihambe akunamuntu enakhuluma noma owakhuluma naye ngaphandle esibhedlela.
Angithi masifika sakhuluma nalo sisi lona wayephuma ngemoto. Sangena sayenesini sakhuluma nenesi lasikhombisa sasesibheke wefamily wethu sathola yena kumama uMakhumalo.
When we drove into the hospital, we spoke with the lady in the vehicle. As I said earlier on, that there was this vehicle that was coming out. And then we went inside, we spoke to the nurse. The nurse then directed us to where the person was. And then we wanted a family member. That's when we met Makhumalo.
That is captured. I'm saying when you were leaving to the house from the hospital, you never spoke to someone else, correct?
Ngaphandle esibhedlela nkathi senizohamba ke nibuyela khona ke endlini nibuyela kwesibili akunamuntu nje la ngaphandle esibhedlela owakhuluma
Can
naye.
you repeat the question?
When you left the hospital for the house with Makhumalo, you never spoke to anyone else.
Akunamuntu nje omunye enakhuluma naye noma owakhuluma naye ngaphambilini kokuthi nihambe nibuyele endlini nihamba naye uMakhumalo.
Hey ngingazi ke kodwa cha angikhumbuli. Uma ukuthi ukhona mhlawumbe ukholigi wami yomkhumbula yena angikhumbuli.
I wouldn't know, but I can't remember. If there was or if there is someone, maybe my colleague would be able to remember that.
No, sir, I'm asking you anyway. Let me put it this way. I put it to you that so the first state witness said you took him to the house. So what he said is not the truth, right?
Ufakazi ke lokuqala ke bela enkantolo ngaphambi kwakho. Ufakazini bakhe ke uthe inina ke abantu abamthatha naye umkhombisa ukuthi indlu lena ikuphi. Ingabe bengakhuluma iqiniso uma esho lokho?
Hayi akaze sithathe umuntu sayomkhombisa thina.
No, we never took anyone
I think
show the house.
nomsiya naye wafika namanye amaphoyisa hayithi.
I think even Msia arrived with other police, not us.
Thank you for your honesty. I applaud you for that. You said, I'm very concerned with this one. You said you were told that some people ran towards the park. Who told you that?
Ushilo ke ukuthi kunabantu abanetshela ke ukuthi kwakunabantu ababili bebaleka beya ngasepark. Ubani owanitshela lokho?
Oh sabe mase sifika ke sabe sesithola ukuthi umakhelwane ngoba naye wayekhuluma nje ukuthi ubona abantu abawu2 bethi baleka beshona le ngasepark.
Upon arrival, we then established that it was a neighbor because the person was just speaking that the person just saw 2 people running towards the park.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to give the name because the state said we must keep names away for now. Just tell me, is that person a male or a female?
Umuntu sikhuluma la ngomuntu wesilisa noma umuntu wesifazane.
okumuntu wesifazane.
It was a female.
A young person or an older person?
Umuntu ke osekhulile noma osemusha.
Umuntu ongumama nje.
It's just a grown up lady.
Come again?
A grown up lady.
Yes?
Say, I put it to you that there were no people who ran from the house. I further put it to you that the shooting incident happened amongst those people who were in the house. What's your comment?
Ngizothi kuwena ke mina ke okokuqala akunabantu ababaleka bebaleka beya ngasephaki. Futhi ke ukudubula lokho kwenzeka ke kulabo bantu labo ababehlezi phakathi endlini uthini wena kuloko. Ungakaphendula.
The witness said he had no knowledge. I don't think it's a fair question to put to to the witness.
Yes?
Your Lordship, a witness never said he had no knowledge, Your Lordship. The witness said he heard that there was shooting. If he doesn't have an answer for this question, I think the state already answered for him. If he doesn't have answer for this question, he can say no comment, whatever. The question is very easy, Your Lordship. For the benefit of the witness, I'll repeat it again. It's a statement. That's why I'm saying he can say he knows, he doesn't know. In any way you want to answer it, Your Lordship. Say, I put it to you that there were no people who ran from the house. I further put to you that the shooting incident happened amongst those people who were in the house.
Ngiyakutshela ke ukuthi ke akunabantu ababaleka besuka ngasendlini futhi ke ukudubula okwenzeka kubantu labo ababehlezi phakathi endlini. Kokwenako ukuthi uphendula kanjani uthi uyazi uthi ufuna ukucomment noma awuna comment kokwena.
Bethe uyangitshela.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said you're putting it to me? Okay.
Is that your answer?
Impendulo yakho le.
Yeah, ngoba ngangingekho nami ngeke ngithi unamanga ngeke ngithi futhi uqinisile angazi.
Because I wasn't there, I won't be able to say you are telling a lie or you are telling the truth. I don't know.
That's a better answer because okay can be interpreted in many ways.
Ingcono kakhulu ke le impendulo kuno okay.
When you testified that you saw or found on the floor the head, the crushes, and then one item damaged, let us get it clear. Is it a projectile or is it a cartridge?
Asihlukaniseke lana I cartridge noma I projectile lena nayithola.
Ayakusiyi cartridge kodwa angazi noma uprojectile igama right kodwa uprojectile yona lasimntu ngoba lokho kuphambili kwenhlamvu kodwa kwase kulimele khona.
Yeah, it's not the cartridge. It's the front part of the bullet and it was damaged. So yeah, the projectile is the word.
Where in the house precisely was the projectile when you saw it first time?
Kathi ke ngibona iprojectile leyo okokuqala yayikuphi nendawo endlini.
Yayiphansi lapha ekitchen.
It was on the kitchen floor.
Your Lordship, the state is showing me the time. If it's the right time, we may adjourn. I'm only left with 5 questions. I'll ask them after lunch.
Mr. Mtetra, you still under oath?
Yakhumbuza ke inkantolo ukuthi sephansi kwesifungo mfethu.
Yebo.
Understood, my lord.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Lordship. Sir, you testified that Bridan Ndlovu was there when you were at the scene for the second time, correct?
Ushilo ke wathi inkathi ubuyela ke noma senibuyele kwesibili uBrigadier Ndlovu wayekhona.
Yebo afika.
Yes, he arrived.
Okay. Basically, he arrived after you arrived for the second time.
Ufike emuva kokuthi nina senibuye kwesibili.
Yebo.
Yes.
Yes.
So, when did Sergeant Musia arrive?
Sergeant Musia yena uthi wafika nini?
Umsiya akuthathanga isikhathi esiningi ukuba afike phambi kokuba kufike uNdlovu. Ngicabanga mhlawumbe babe kokune distance nyani kodwa wafika kuqala ngaphambi kokuba kufike uNdlovu.
It was not long before Ndlovu arrived, so there was not much time between the two of them. He arrived first and then Ndlovu arrived.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sir, it is correct that you only safeguarded the scene after you came for the second time.
Kuqinisoko ukuthi ke ukuthi ni vikeke noma ni kade isini lokho nizokwenza nkathi senibuye kwesibili.
Yebo.
That's correct.
I put it to you that that is unprocedural, sir. You're supposed to have done that for when you came first time.
Ngithi kuwena ke akusiyona ke indlelaekufanele ukuthi nenze ngayo. Kwakufanele ukuthi lokho nikwenze nkathi nifike okokuqala.
Are you not repeating that question?
I'm
I
repeating
think
it,
you
Your
asked
Lordship.
it-
Your
you asked
Lordship.
it twice before. That very question.
I do agree with the court, but I just have one question, and then I'm done with the witness.
No, don't rush to finish just because I commented about this one.
No, actually, I was done. I was not sure, Your Lordship, whether if I did ask it in the fashion I asked it now.
Okay. I understand.
I'll park my questioning for now until we get hold of the pocketbook, Your Lordship, because he said we still have to go and locate the pocketbook.
Advocate Baloyi, there's the issue of the pocketbook. For now, Mr. Tovani is finished, but he's saying to us he will need to reopen cross-examination when the pocketbook is here. My sense is that then he will ask questions only relating to the question, the pocketbook.
The pocketbook. Yeah, indeed, my lord, we did discuss the issue amongst ourselves just before we resumed. And yeah, we agreed that the witness will go and look for the pocketbook. The only question that that we were debating is whether Advocate Msholola will continue today or wait until Mr. Tobani has finished, and we couldn't reach consensus on that aspect.
If you ask me, my approach is to exercise sensitivity towards, disturbing the scheme of things of a practitioner. So for that, I think we'll have to hear from Advocate Mshololo
As a court, please.
what she is comfortable with.
As a court, please.
As the court pleases, my lord, I will appreciate to start with my cross-examination after my learned friend has finished. However, if he wishes to pause now and allow the witness to bring the pocketbook, I will ask that he allows me to finish my cross-examination and then finish his cross-examination after I've finished.
So you want. Oh.
I won't start and stand.
No, but I'm saying you won't find that if you had cross-examined after the pocketbook is here, there are issues you would have raised.
They will also assist me to elicit my questions, my lord.
Okay.
Yes.
So
It is proper, my lord, that we adjourn and then I do my cross-examination after my learned friend has finished regarding the pocketbook.
Advocate Baloyi,
That's in order, my lord.
if any other witness will come here who owns a pocketbook somewhere, please let them bring
As a
the pocketbook.
I think including the second witness after this one, my lord.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think he's committing to sensitize them to bring the pocketbook.
Yes. I don't know, my lord, there was one issue regarding Colonel Mhlahla. I don't know whether we can do that this afternoon just to save on the court's time.
There was?
I say I haven't raised this issue with, in light of these new developments, whether we shouldn't finalize that issue now. Maybe ask for a short adjournment and then finalize it.
No, my lord, I think there is no need actually because the photo album from Mhlahlo has already been admitted into the court as exhibit. It's exhibit B, my lord. So we are not objecting to his evidence. We're just saying that we can admit the photo album by consent instead of calling him because we have already dealt with the content of exhibit B. So there's no need to call him to come and testify, my lord.
I think it's her. It's a she. I do agree with my colleague, your lordship, that there's no need for us to cross-examine Mhlahlo because even the first witness did testify about the album that was done by Mhlahlo. So there's no need for us to, we agree that it can be handed in as by consent.
But there was going to be a formal admission. I was just wondering whether we shouldn't just finalize that, in the...
Or you mean that it be handed in now?
Yes, maybe we adjourn for a few minutes and we just finalize the admission and we get it out of the way.
How long should the adjournment be?
Yeah, I think we let the court know, but it shouldn't be longer than quarter of an hour.
Yeah, I'm saying so because you remember that by 3 o'clock we
Yes.
have to. Okay.
May the witness then just be excused until tomorrow.
Okay. Mr. Mteto, you'll be excused for now. Do return tomorrow
Uzobuya kusasa-ke mfethu ne? Ungakhohlwa-ke i-pocketbook.
with the pocketbook.
Okay.
Understood, my lord.
All right.